had the opportunity. No, I never did. Because I don't want to lose the man's friendship. No, but I've been very cautious with my friends' wives and girlfriends, right?
As everybody has been with yours.
Of which there have been none. Of which there have been none. My God. No, no, wait a minute. Wasn't there someone that? No, you've never seen me with a girl. They don't believe that I ever
kissed
been
John
with a
Anderson
girl.
once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How was it? I mean, was it? I'm sure he said it was Admiral Byrd. It's cool.
On the ice caps.
On the ice caps.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of that. No, you didn't kiss her there.
I kissed her in the ice floes.
Kissed her in the ice floes.
No,
Oh my God.
but those were the days I'd kiss anything that moved.
So you on a date? You just grabbed her?
No, we went out to a movie or something, but it wasn't a date. I never. She never drove me to great passion. I guess.
I don't think she drove it. Just me.
Just you.
Maybe some other guys. Who knows? She's probably married. I want to think about it. Let's see. Who else can we talk about? Darcy Johnson.
Darcy Johnson. We probably both kissed Darcy Johnson.
I never kissed Darcy.
Never.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Well, the page of the yearbook that we graduated in, which I was not in, and I didn't graduate the year, but there's 4 girls, and those were the 4 girls in the school in alphabetical order that I ever was involved with. She just mentioned one, John Arneson. The other one was Nance Alexander.
Oh, that's right.
Now there's a girl that we both kissed, right?
I think.
Did you do anything else besides that?
No.
No.
She scared me.
I was going to go for it, but you know.
She was a red freak, folks.
She was a red
beautiful,
freak.
Beautiful.
Very cute. I just recently saw her. He hasn't seen her.
But you'd be talking to her, and her mind would go next door, walk around, take a little nap, and come back and say, "Now what?"
Remember Lisa Ava Gabor on what was it, Green Acres? No, she didn't have a brain quite like that, but she was real slow.
Yeah.
I mean, I told John why I never could get comfortable with her was because, remember, I said that she was so out of reach when I knew her before she ever took any reds or anything, that I felt that it was the downers that made her vulnerable, and that she really would have spit on me if she wasn't loaded out of her mind, drugged out of her mind. She would have gone, ugh, who is this guy? She was in my kindergarten class, by the way.
Is that right?
Yeah, I brought her the picture. I showed it to her. I said, look, that's you.
You saw her recently?
I saw her at the thing when I saw Bill riding 2 years ago. She looked okay.
At the reunion.
Yeah. She had been thrown off a motorcycle, but that was years before, and it didn't hurt her at all. Very fragile.
She's still married?
I don't know. I think so. Her husband wasn't at the thing, then, as far as I know. Who's the other? There's 2 more. Mary Banton, which he's never, and then Terry Bartola. So that makes 2 A's and 2 B's. And I turned the page to see who was left, and it was Cow. You know, no, the C's. No.
Yeah, Jerry went out for a little while with
one of the girls?
Bartolo's cousin. What was her name? Donna Bartolo.
Donna Bartolo, who's just like her. Yeah, I haven't seen
Donna
her.
Donna was a real basket case. She was a goner. No brains.
No brains.
No brains. And she took a lot of drugs. But it wasn't just red. She took coke, acid, butt, everything, heroin.
God.
This is slanderous, I think. If anybody else sees this,
sees
we could
this
go to
tape.
jail.
Well, what?
Unless she's dead.
Unless she's dead.
If she's dead, I've been studying mass communications law and
who's what?
Mass communications law, and you can say anything you want about the dead and not be sued.
Well, that's great. So then, if she's not dead, we have to kill her. Is what he's saying. See how the mind works, I told John when I called him on the phone today that I've been man on the edge for the last couple of months or weeks or something. Like I've been ready to be pushed over the edge, and I've been thinking about all the close calls where I almost decided to cash my life in and go to prison with Sirhan and all these guys just over a donut or something. in a diner or at the boys' market, like wait, hey, that's my bag, look out, and all of a sudden, everything just comes out of
you talking to me?
You're talking to me. Who you talking to? Nobody talk to me like that. That's what Kevin does. His imitation. But I think you have to have kind of like women are attracted to gangsters and people like that. They always have good
power. Women like power.
Well, they like a guy with balls who really stands up for his rights and doesn't go, my God, these teeth cost money in my face, and I could punch that guy and maybe I'll win the fight, but he might break my nose, and what does it mean? You know what I mean? To scar me or something? And so I always just kind of like, you know.
Avoid women to him. He doesn't want to impress them with scars, so he avoids women.
Well, you know, I get my clothes and they go, what? No tattoos? You know, and they hand me a joint and I go, what? You know, it's smoking?
Hey,
What's
tell us about the hitchhiker.
I mean the girl in Texas? With all the beautiful girls? The hitchhiker. Oh, the Gorgon head. Well, that was the first. Henry and I fucked the same girl within 2 or 3 hours of each other. And he got the crabs at it. I didn't. He needed charmed life.
He went first?
He went first.
Yeah.
Well, I think what happened with me
Crab
was...
migration. They were
crab,
so
they all
tired
went
of
to
that
him.
woman.
Yeah.
They
In my
all
apartment.
jumped ship for the first boat that floated through that harbor.
He fucks her in my apartment. Great boobs, best boobs I've ever had. I've never really had a good set of boobs to fool around with. They've always had the word, and I'm a tit man. So what happens is when they have big tits, I panic, and they sense it. You know what I mean? I go, ha, and they go, uh-oh, you know, and then they just, and then I miss it.
You should tell them to keep their shirt on until you start fucking, and then.
Oh, I make all the ones with the crummy tits wear a top when I fuck them though, and they don't understand why. And I tell them, oh, because you look sexier this way. You know, like in Playboy when they have just a top on and no panties and all.
Do you really, Greg?
Yeah, sometimes I catch on. I go, wait, how come you don't want them? Don't you think I've got great tits? And I'm going, oh, you know. Well, I'm spoiled from the magazines. They had some women came on and they said that they didn't think Playboy was fair in these magazines because they really show women that are over the average and normal size of women who have
That's true.
breast size.
And they usually match.
And they usually match, and there's no tattoos or hair or, well, a lot of stuff is photographed out or whatever, but, you know, right? But John's not a tit man, so he claims.
I'm just, I like them all.
He likes them all. Well, hey, I'm not particularly anymore. Before, remember it was me? Blonde with big tits, young, beautiful, great legs, and a good ass.
And a specific kind of nipples,
A
too.
specific kind of pink nipples that were erect, and a mind that could understand brain surgery. Now, if you could find a girl like that, maybe, you know, but I've kind of lowered my standards to the point where if they have a tattoo on their arm, like we said before, I like dicks. I actually met a girl like that. I'll go for it.
Did you really?
She was a very nice girl, but she'd just gotten out of the penitentiary for attempted murder on her stepfather who had raped her. Because she was fed up of being raped. She had been raped by 4 blacks when she was 12, and she didn't want to go through it anymore. And I always run into the great ones. The greatest one, of course.
But she had a tattoo that said, I love dicks?
I love dicks. Some guys got her drunk one night and held her down and tattooed her.
Oh.
Can you believe that? On her arm. And she was clammy as hell, and when I got her in bed, I could not fuck her. Anyway. But you know who I really was crazy about? You know.
Who?
Okay. The blonde girl who was a witch, but reincarnated as a witch from a previous life.
Yeah.
Okay, she really wasn't a witch now, right? God. And I haven't seen her, and I have not called her, and
No,
I'm
where'd
not
you meet
going
her?
to see her. Essay. At the rape escape. This little tram
That's right.
to escape rape. But she was too public. She was too much of a beauty queen, you know, for me to deal with. I got these problems that I always think like, oh God, I'm going to lose this, or this is going to be a hassle, or, you know, they're going to fuck me around or something like that.
You
But
do have a lot of worries about this stuff.
Yeah, well, John, I've had these problems. He fucks a girl and then says, well, I got to go. Maybe next week I can squeeze you in. Let's put you on my calendar. And leaves. And there's no problem. There's no hate. There's no revenge. I've got a girl who will not talk to me after 14 years. Will not look at me, will not talk to me. I've got another girl who threatened to kill me and have a Mexican gang come after me. Remember that?
I think this probably has something to do with the kind of girls you're growing up
the
with.
kind of girls I pick.
The Chihuahua.
The Chihuahua who the police came looking for after I had fucked her, who didn't speak English, by the way. And it's, mucha caliente, you know, I'm going, oh my God, what am I going to do? How do I get this girl out of my room? Hey, you know how I got the Gorgon head out of my room? Fuck the Gorgon head in the apartment in Huntington
You
Beach.
told me this, yeah.
This is classic. And after we were all done, I said, well, I'm going to take a shower. If you want to take one, why don't you take one now, too? Because when my brother and his friends get here, boy, I mean, you know, you're not going to be able to do anything. You know? And she went, what? Well, who are these guys? You know, I go, oh, well, you know, they don't worry about them. They just have a good time, you know. And she said, well, listen, I think I better go. And I said, oh, no, it's really, you know. And she says, no, I'm leaving. And she ran out the door, and I thought, Thank God. Reverse psychology, because I was just thinking, my God, what if because I had to go to work, if this girl doesn't leave and says, no, I'm staying here, I'm sleeping, or something, and I come back, my apartment's ripped off, or, or she decides to move in or something. So I
What
didn't
Greg was
know.
really afraid of is that she might have cleaned his shower curtain.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. I know, hey, I cleaned the shower curtain for a girl. This blonde girl I met at the
This
beach.
year?
I cleaned that whole apartment spotless. I met a girl in Huntington Beach, riding a bicycle, and went out. Man, I pursued her like crazy. Not because I was that crazy about her, but I said, Greg, can you do it? She lives close by. She is blonde. She's young. She doesn't have any boyfriends. She is attractive. She's fat, which is reasonably attractive to me and very unattractive to all the other people, right? So she's not in demand, and she speaks Russian, which I thought was great.
What a talent, yeah.
I thought that was fantastic because she was kind of a ding dong, but she spoke Russian, and I was really impressed with that because she was a native Russian. I thought, well, if I joined. Oh, by the way, another thing that we haven't discussed. I applied for work with the Central Intelligence Agency last summer, and they haven't called me yet.
You've been busy.
They've been busy. Well, they told me, they wanted to parachute me down inside, I think it was Libya, and I was to use Morse code to send signals out to a ship in the harbor on what Gaddafi was doing. And I said, wouldn't old Muammar frown on that if he found out, what I was doing there, And they said, well, they probably would shoot you, but, I thought, I don't know about this job. So, but I thought if I got involved with this girl, I could bring her back to Washington, D.C., and she wouldn't be bored. If I was out running around.
You could show your bullet holes.
I could show her the bullet holes, and. But really, the CIA, being an agent for the CIA, is not really a family man's job. You know what I mean? It's really not for anybody with any kind of will to live or desire to live.
Sounds perfect for you.
Sounds perfect for me now. I can give my life to my country.
Maybe you should write them back and say you're willing to die.
They're going to look me up. What they do is they give you
Die for Reaganomics.
They give you the application, John, of which the third question I told you was question number 3, after they ask you your name and where you were born and your citizenship. Do you now or have you ever used heroin?
Third question.
The 5th question. The 6th question is, do you now or have you ever used marijuana or cocaine? And then the 7th question is there any incident in your life that you would like to explain? Okay, and and I'm looking at these questions and I'm going, what kind of people? But see, you'd think you'd have to say no to all these things, but they want people.
They know. They know better. Yeah.
It's not just that they know that everybody's smoked marijuana and all this stuff, but they want people who have used heroin and who are cocaine fiends because they know they can say, hey, look, you do this crazy thing and get shot out of a torpedo tube. And plant these weapons or whatever, and we'll give you all the cocaine you want, And there's guys who are nuts enough, who will do this. And and I come in goody two shoes that I never. Oh, I don't even like. I have asthma. I don't even like to smoke marijuana. They go, we can't use this guy. But they'll look me up. They always do this.
Greg, do they know you want big pink nipples?
They know. Pink nipple.
You'd go through tubes for big pink nipples.
Hey, you know how this happened? I passed up a girl who had good pink nipples when I was young, because
Patty Moore.
Patty Moore. Yeah, I almost called Patty Moore recently, because I went to Disneyland on a lark for part of a promotion for my job, and the last time I had been there was with Patty Moore, of all people. And I saw her at the thing,
Yeah.
She looked great.
Yeah.
She looked
Sad
great.
though, wasn't she? Real sad.
She was real sad because she was in love with her high school football hero sweetheart, who
Do anything.
who I thought, what does she see in that guy? He's not really that good looking. And then we find out later that the guy is a jet pilot who lands on aircraft carriers and stuff. Going, because we all blocked for him or whatever, right? He was the hero, but we helped him get through, and be a star. But the guy really was a James Bond or whatever.
I've resented Rick Laniak since my senior year in high school.
Well, you were close friends with him, right?
No, I was closer friends with his friend Rick Nelson.
Oh, right.
But one day, Coach, I should actually resent Coach Eaton for this, our high school football.
But all those guys, God.
Everyone an asshole.
Every one of them was an asshole except O'Kane, maybe. No, or Deckard. I don't know. Go on.
Deckard was okay, but
Yeah.
he had rectal tendencies too. Um, I was given the ball from about our own 5 yard line, and
Hmm.
I carried it every time
And then they gave him the
up
touchdown.
until the other 5 yard line, and I carried the ball every time. I mean, it was like Burgess left, Burgess right, Burgess here, Burgess, and
You got all tired and
and
did all,
I got
ground
exhausted.
out all the yardage.
Then they brought in Gliniak, who had been resting on the bench
And then he
for
did.
for the.
Well, that's politics, John.
I was a
and
wimp. I should have gone back and pissed on Coach
and
Eaton's
told
leg.
told the pissed on his leg. Told the coach, you know. And I was the kind of guy in football who went, "But coach, it's only a game." Well, you never do that. To those guys.
It was real life to them.
They ruined, as far as I'm concerned, they ruined our youth because you don't get the opportunity to play organized football or any kind of sport when you get
I had
older.
dreams about
in
that for
college.
so many years. I'd wake up and have dreams like, and wind sprints and anxieties about seeing them ugh.
It wasn't the workout that I hated. It was the fact that you had to adhere to their philosophy, which is winning is everything, and you're a woman if you don't win. And winning really was not that important to me. I wanted to win, but if it came to injuring the other players or myself or cheating or just doing something stupid or blind, I couldn't see that. And
I liked the running around and knocking into people. I liked
Yeah, that
the
was
physical
fun.
part of football.
But John, it was a good
But
lesson for us.
They pushed us into viciousness a lot.
Well, they wanted to listen, and their jobs, I guess, were slightly on the line on these things. But the thing is that I don't think unless you're involved actually with money, like in professional and college football, that it shouldn't be as serious as a matter as they made it. But it is a good lesson because I learned because I only played 2 years and you played
4.
You played the whole 4 years. But I did try out for the varsity when I was a sophomore, so I know what in the Hell Week. So I know. So I got a taste of the worst of it, So I
Yeah.
knew what it was, at a younger age too. But what was I going to say? I thought it was a good lesson that for us because it taught us something. You blocking your face, John? It taught us something about
Warming
life
my knees.
and life that I've learned. There's Greg's philosophy, and I was a philosophy major in college. Learned nothing about
As an authority.
authority is that life is what I've learned is life is not fair. Life just is not fair. And I really don't resent. I resented at the time that I only was able to play 2 years of football reasonably comfortably. I was bending over backwards, not to pushing my body to a strain. I liked actually keeping in shape and all that, but I was bending over backwards in making my mind think the way they wanted to mold it into. And every time I got away from that place, it was just, like, hey man, you've got your own individuality back, and you are not a stamped out person. Is that coming out?
Yeah. Do you remember our C football coach Chris
Coach
Voris? Christ Voris.
And
Who always wore white socks, even at football banquets. He'd wear a dark
hey,
suit and
I wear
white
them
socks.
now because they're comfortable. I wear thick ones. John has white socks on too.
I do.
No, I know what you mean. And Coach
But he
Garnett-
was a real jerk. He used to come out and play football with us. We'd be in pads,
and he would
and he would just play in shorts.
in shorts. He was a short guy, so he was about our height
Yeah.
at the time. Although we were all
Mean motherfucker.
bigger than him actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an experience. But there's no way. Like I went to college. I went to SC. There's no way that I can probably even be on the team, much less play on the
You're
team.
too small to be the manager.
I'm too small to be the man. Listen, I'm bigger than Pat Hayden though, and he played on the team, and he's also on the Rams. So, but see, he's
Barely.
a quarterback, barely.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would not have been able to play any of those kind of positions, and I don't think I was fast enough to really be the cornerman or anything. So what's John gonna do?
Yeah, those are.
Is it moving?
Yeah, we still have plenty of tape too.
All right. What the hell? We're discussing it. Oh, he's gotta go to the bathroom or something.
No.
No.
I'm just gonna fiddle around here.
You gonna look at it? Am I in the thing?
You're wonderful. Yeah.
Okay. Is the green light on?
The green light and the red light is on,
Oh, so that
but that doesn't matter.
no, because we already checked it, right? Didn't we look at it on the thing? You're moving back. John's gonna fool with the camera. Now what is he doing? We should talk about something more interesting though, so the folks at home enjoying this time capsule, if there are any.
Now, who exactly are we speaking to? For ourselves or for?
Well, we probably should edit this thing, in the very end. But I wonder what speed it's on. You know, I never thought about that. John, this is what annoys people when you fuck up the lens and everything. Remember the tapes we made?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's terrible.
Well, now it's fine. I've got a real close shot on just your face.
Okay, so how do I look? I got.
Yeah, except for the booger, you're fine.
God, this guy's unbelievable. So could I have been?
Guess which nostril?
Oh, don't not that close, John, please. So could I have been a movie star, John? People still used to say that to me. They said you should have been an actor.
If you want to go for some harebrained profession, it should have been acting. Because looks alone matter a lot there, and that you might have stood that.
But ego is important, and you know what I don't like about acting is you don't have control over what you're doing. Because I was into I wanted to put my ideas on the screen. I also wanted to star in some of the stuff too, but just small little roles like directors and writers do, little cameo things or whatever they do, walk-ons. Although there were a couple of things I wanted to play larger parts in, but never like real lead roles or anything. How the hell did I ever get... You know what happened was I was a very impressionable 18-year-old, and I went to Hollywood and met Walt Davis and met all these beautiful girls, which was a nice side thing, but that really wasn't my main interest in Hollywood. I don't need a lot of beautiful women, just one. You
were filming fuck films there too, weren't you?
I was filming porno with a 35 millimeter motion picture camera, Aeroflex 35, which nobody gets their hands on. And I filmed some porno with him at the Steppenwolf organ player's house. And I was very disappointed with a lot of the Hollywood people and how sleazy it was, but there was so much money in the professional end of it, in the legit side, that I just said, hey man, I'm going to give it some time. And it's everybody who wants to, everybody, John, who, like the mothers say they want their daughters to marry a doctor or a lawyer, because that is the standard, successful, high-paying position that you go to school for, you get your degree in, you get your credits for, you do your internship or whatever, and you're there is a definite path to follow for that. It's already outlined. There's no path to follow for being a success in the stock market or show business, or now what is he doing?
Well,
You're gonna set it up again?
Back.
Okay. Or being. No, I gotta hold still so he can do it right. And remember, give yourself plenty of room on your side. But let me put it this way. Here's your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's your head. Okay. So as long as this hand, when you move around, is in the frame, and you can actually make it a little tighter than you'd like to, because that screen, John, is cropped. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's smaller than.
Yeah, it's going to be bigger. There's going to be more room than you
think.
So
this will be fine.
Okay. Oops. No, John, you should talk about something now, because he won't tell it.
Do you want to see what I look through the world like?
He's going to put glasses. I bet it's a weird effect.
I wonder what it looks like.
Well, John, he's going to do it again now, looking through the viewfinder. It just fucks up the screen, right?
It doesn't really do too much. It just blurs it a little bit.
Oh, you know why? Because you're so close to the lens. If you move to eye, right? Changes it more?
You're a little more in focus.
Oh, well. Maybe it's because we're on wide angle. If you're on telephoto, maybe. No, I don't know. I should understand these things in optics, but... Anyway, John, let's see, John leads a pretty regular life. You can't
I have a real boring life. There's probably no words.
You can't not have an eccentric life and be attracted to women, I don't think, unless you have money. Or unless you're an eccentric in, like, Buckminster Fuller. Okay? He has groupies. Bucky Fuller, they're crazy about him. He has a lot of eccentric ideas as far as engineering and science, and they go for it. Windmills and I don't know whatever the hell. But a practical thing like a killer satellite.
I can't see. Women would go for that, I think.
There have been women who've been.
But you got to go back to the physics department to wow them.
Boy, the physics girls are so bad.
Hey, Greg, I've been one of my beats this semester has been the engineering department at school.
High?
No.
Okay. What do you mean? Oh, you mean you've been checking it out? They got women in it now?
They have a lot of good-looking women there. There's big money.
The field's wide open to them. And
yeah.
Hey, do you know that, John? He's going to croak when he hears this. I just got a job offer by the guy who found my wallet. When we started talking, he said, "Well, what have you been doing? And what's this?" And we started talking about fabricating components and things. And as soon as he realized that I knew about that field and enough, he offered me a job for. He said, "I can't quote you the exact price, but it'd be $25,000 to $30,000 a year designing for some company." And out in Garden Grove, and I just thought about it, and I said, I don't want to do this.
You should at least do it
Yeah.
for a little bit so you can get your unemployment back.
Yeah, now that is a good idea, John, in a way, because I could make a lot of money and I'd be making top. See, I understand the unemployment scheme. Now, what you do is you work for 3 months
Yeah.
full time at maximum pay that you can get, and then you get laid off. You find a way to get out. Then you go into unemployment, and they go back to this quarter that you worked.
2 quarters before, isn't
Yeah.
it? Is it
Well, what you do is you quit, and then you live off that money that you made. Then you file
you
for
apply,
unemployment,
yeah.
and then they start paying you, and they pay you top dollar, no matter
That's right.
on the scale.
For how many weeks? 26 weeks or something?
Yeah, for 26 weeks. You know, they sent me a thing that I could renew my unemployment. Do you know that? I can get an extension on it. I just have to fill out some more papers to do it again. But I thought, I don't know if I should push it.
You'd better do that. I mean, there's no reason not to do it.
Well, they might question me and they say, what do you mean you can't get a job? Because the Huntington Beach Inn is already hiring 2 more people that they laid me off on. They need people so bad. The Holiday Inn, I mean, you know, I wrote Holiday Inns down. She goes, the Holiday Inn should be hiring. I go, oh, yes, but they want people who've worked for them before, you know, because they've got so many people.
Ooh.
Yeah, I made that up. Talking about, I mean, I mean, you know, I'm right there with the answers, you know.
Lucky.
Lucky, yeah. Oh, God. Anyway, I'm not drawing any more unemployment. Henry owes me money. I want to make money in the stock market. I have enough money to pay rent for another month, and I have 2 months or something. My rent's paid. You know, if I get a job, I might work with some women, and then I go out again or something, but that's never helped. You know. I mean, the girls I work with, these flunky jobs I have, you know, as being a damn...
Yeah. You really ought to go out and get an adult job for a little bit.
You know, the thing I don't like about, John was talking about women in business now who are professional and sophisticated and all this stuff, you know, because they're taking MBA courses or whatever.
They all smoke Virginia Slims and Greg can't stand it.
No, it's not so much that they call their own shots in the new modern woman and they come a long way and all that baby crap. It's the fact that they really take it seriously. In other words, they're striving to be in a man's world and their business is so serious and they don't have time for anything else. And I mean, I take my thing serious too, but I realize it's just a bunch of shit, all of it. Even though my stuff hinges on whether or not there's a world tomorrow. Some of it, you know. I mean, I just don't get worked up over these things, and you know, it just isn't. In other words, I don't think they see the real significance of it all. You know what I mean? Like I was telling John, I don't worship the laws of the land, although I obey them. What I have respect for is the M16, because the reason why the laws of the land, and all these girls who are becoming lawyers these days, you know, thinking that they have a lot of power to put rapists away and prostitutes getting off of that and putting the Johns in jail instead. And what I'd like to know is what the hell are they going to do if there's no prostitutes with these guys who at least are willing to pay, you know? Rather than just go out and take it. You know, they go, oh no, it's an act of violence. It's not the same kind of man or whatever. You know, I'll do whatever you want to do. I don't go to prostitutes and I don't pay and I don't
get laid either.
I don't get laid. I haven't raped anybody yet. I've never killed a man. I've never raped a woman. Those are my 2 claims.
but he's raped a man.
He was raped a man and killed a woman. Oh God! Do you know that there was a guy who was hitchhiking in Arizona? A girl picked him up. He was 22 and she was 30, and somehow they decided that they were going to screw. Okay, John always used the word screw for some.